Hey everybody, and welcome to the 1/3 of the way through the season show here in the Kingman Fantasy Football League. Not sponsored by Coca-Cola Company. No, not.
Did that deal fall through or something?
I hadn't heard from them, thankfully. As John almost put us bankrupt. Yeah. Oh.
All right. Well, as Dan said, we are back for the October show. It is the 1/3 poll in the KFFL, 1/4 poll in the NFL. Before we get to football discussion, though.
Well, first of all, what do you think about our new setup?
Yes.
We're going to give it a shot. And
John had a crazy idea, and Dan ran with it, so we'll see how this works. If you prefer us in the old setup, just let us know.
Yeah, just leave some more comments. I'll leave the comments open this time.
That would be good.
You know, to explain that, you know, I don't know if all the videos I mark as, you know, okay for children, not knowing that turned the comments off.
Oh.
So I didn't know that. So then when I activated the comments, I'm like, what's the big deal of kids commenting on our show? Good for them. And not me being the innocent angel that I am, I'm sitting here thinking, oh yeah, there's predators out there to go after kids. I didn't even think of that, but...
On that note, before we get to KFFL and the NFL, let's talk baseball for a moment. The wild card is underway. Game 2s are today. Detroit lost today, so that series is 1-1. Cubs were in the process of losing as we sat down to take this.
Yeah.
And the Yankees are down 0-1. Yay for that. Sorry. And the Dodgers were the only game that was not a pitcher's duel last night, going up 1-0 with a 10-5 victory. So what do you guys think? Where do you think the wild card is headed and the rest of the postseason? Because by the time we meet in November, we'll have a champ.
Yeah. Well, Cleveland and Detroit going to a third game should be exciting. Should be fun, I think. I don't even know who's going to be pitching. I'm going to guess Flaherty maybe for Detroit.
That'd be my guess.
I think I saw a 2BD on that one, so I'm not sure.
But I mean, it's been a pretty even series, but well pitched so far. So, I mean, except for Cleveland, a few homers today. Up until that point, it was a well pitched game. So, I got to go with home team though. I think Cleveland will take that one.
Cleveland will take that one? Okay. John?
I think the Dodgers are a lot. I mean, Cincinnati's a nice story and all, but you know, we have Ohtani yet to pitch, and you know he's worked his way up to 6-7 innings if he wants to go that far. And he led off last night with a homer, which didn't surprise me.
Yeah,
right.
You know, so I think that one's kind of a lock. You know, Yankees and Red Sox, the bullpen has been horrible for the Yankees. I don't think they're a contender in the long run.
And it showed again last night.
And it showed again last night, you know. So that one could go either way, it really can. I just don't know if I see anybody in this wild card round winning the next round. Okay. The Dodgers would be maybe the one team that could do it, but their bullpen is shaky.
Right.
Yeah, and they go up against the Phillies.
Right. If they advance, they play the Phillies. Yeah, and you're right. Their bullpen is not been good for the last 2 months. And granted, if they get a big lead, they shouldn't have to use those back end guys and keep blowing things like last night almost. But
yeah.
I don't know, but it's the playoffs, and the Dodgers will turn it on because that's what they do. You know, it's 6 months of regular season. Well, let's just make sure we get there, and then they turn it on.
Yeah, you never know until they play the game.
But yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But my big question, now I don't know if you watched, I want to know how much Strauss paid to have their name on every helmet in the series.
That's got to be a heck of a deal.
Because you haven't
yeah.
seen it during the regular season,
No,
but
it's a
now here we are.
postseason, yeah.
And I don't know if they're the whole postseason or just a wild card round.
Were they the whole postseason last year?
I don't know. They started it last year, and then once the Brewers were eliminated, I stopped caring.
But how much did they pay? Because that has to be a
It's
big
gotta be a
deal.
big deal.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
Well,
Based on where everything stands right now.
okay, my heart says Brewers,
Heart.
obviously. You know that. It's going to be the
Who do you
Brewers
see
and
the Brewers playing
Whew.
in the series?
Cubs or Padres? Well, here's the thing. If they play the Padres, okay, then we got to go to San Diego at least for one, if not 2 games.
Mhm.
And San Diego's bullpen is just phenomenal, and they've been good so far in the playoffs so far too in the 2 games. The Cubs, we played them 13 times during the season. Okay, we lost 7 of the 13 games.
Mhm.
So, but it was even. It was an even
Good
series,
match.
and I think we match up better with the Cubs. Do I want all those Cub fans in American Family Field? No, I do not.
No.
But
you don't think Milwaukee will do like New York did and try to restrict ticket
they've
sales?
tried that before and it didn't work. But here's the thing: if the Cubs do play the Brewers and they're up in Milwaukee, wouldn't it be great if they could just shut down those fans and shut them
Yeah.
up? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
That would be awesome. John, what do you think?
If you can shut up the Dodger fans, I'd pay extra money for that part alone, right there.
I would love that too.
So, but I think the American League is so wide open right now. I'd love to see Seattle and Toronto battle it out.
Yeah.
I
That
think
could
that'd
be a
be
good
great
series.
to see one of those 2 teams in the World Series
Mhm.
again. I mean, Toronto's been since the Joe Carter era,
Mhm.
since they've been in the World
long
Series.
time.
I don't know Seattle.
Never. They've never
Right,
been to the
never
World
been
Series.
there.
Yep.
So to see one of those 2 teams in it, and and so on that side, Milwaukee hasn't been there in a long time.
Tell me about it.
So to see a team that hasn't been there for a while, so San Diego would be all right, and Milwaukee would be okay. The league's not going to like it much because they don't like those markets,
Yeah.
from a TV viewership.
Too bad, I
But
say.
I think that'd be great. I'd
Yep.
love
Yeah.
to see.
I joked with him last night that if it's not the big markets in the World Series, MLB is going to come up with some way to make sure that that never happens again because of the money involved.
Right.
So, all right, John. Before we get into discussions of the season, you had mentioned you had some more questions for the commissioner.
Oh no.
I do more.
Not
All right.
sponsored by Coca-Cola.
That's right. And it didn't come off the website because Dan forgot to open up the comments early enough. So, but
I won't make that mistake.
let's ask. It's just an interesting question to me. Growing up, I mean, you're obviously the fans of those teams from Wisconsin.
Mhm.
Did you feel like you had a choice in that, or did you? That's what we do in our family, and that's just the way it works.
I'll let Jenelle go first.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it started with baseball. My dad took me to my first baseball game when I was 8 years old in Milwaukee County Stadium. I believe that was the year Gorman Thomas and Reggie Jackson were kind of going at it for the home run crown, 78. I think that was the year. And that's when it all started and became a thing. We went to a game a month. And in fact, our routine was we got to the ballpark. First stop was the ticket booth to get our tickets for next month. And it was just a monthly thing. And when I went off to college, didn't do it as much. And I missed out on that. But my sister stepped in and joined Dad for those games. When I came out here, I really missed going to those games with him. And being out here, it was hard to see the Brewer games all the time. Because back in those days, this is long enough ago, I didn't have all the options that we have now for ball games. So it was hard to keep up with the team. Football came later. But again, growing up 45 minutes from Green Bay, it was probably no choice. Just one of those things. I was in the heart of Packer country, so I became a fan of that too. But that came probably quite a bit later from baseball. But it's been Packers and Brewers ever since.
So I got an interesting story for baseball, all right? So I don't think I was any fan of anybody when I was little, 4 or 5 years old or anything like that. But as I grew up in my neighborhood, my friends and I we had this open field right behind our house, and it was owned by a church, and they would mow it all the time. They bought all this land to expand eventually, but it was just a field. So we'd go out almost every day of the summer and play baseball. Every freaking day. I mean, wore out a spot where the mound is, where the batters were all the time. church people didn't mind. So anyways, I loved baseball from that. Then one day, this was 1980. I'm 7, going on 8. And the Forest Mall in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin has Moose Haas of the Brewers in there for autographs. So we're at the mall, and Dad happens to see that. And we go over and get my picture taken with Moose Haas and get an autograph and a copy of the What's Brewing, magazine that the Brewers put out back then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so on our way home, well, Dad would always stop at what we affectionately called the beer store. It was a liquor store, but it was in a barn and everything. It's the beer store.
Drive-through?
No, they didn't have drive-through.
Okay,
no.
All right.
But they had, by checkout, baseball cards. I never knew about those. So we bought a pack. And I swear to God, open a pack, first pack card I see, Moose Haas. Boom. Fan for life. Just like that. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So I love the Brewers from that. Now as for the Packers, I think that was just a family thing because, my family's been Packer fans for a while. I think we used to be even on the season ticket list. Maybe we still are, for all I know. But I don't remember much about the Packers except for maybe one of those Snow Bowl games against Tampa Bay when they're up 45-0 and 3 feet of snow. And I think they played the Redskins on Monday Night Football one year, and Lynn Dickey threw like 6 touchdowns. And then I was hooked for the Packers too. You lived with the good and the bad with the Packers back then. I've had plenty of bad, but I've had plenty of good since too. What about you?
In the world of baseball, there was not. My dad was not a baseball guy, and my mom wasn't. And so when I started watching baseball and paying attention to baseball, the Oakland A's were so good. So I was a bandwagon jumper. I just jumped on that bandwagon, and for some reason, I still follow them today. And so that's how I got started. But in the world of football, my dad was a Bears guy. Loved the Bears, loved that whole thing.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I said, I can't cheer for the same team as my dad. I don't know why, I just said I couldn't.
Right.
So I had to choose someone else, and the Vikings just happened to be fairly close and in the same division, so I chose the Vikings. And the first Monday night game he ever let me watch, the Vikings were playing the Bears, and Fred Cox missed a kick to win the game at the end, so the Bears ended up winning. But it was the first game I ever watched. And so I just didn't want to cheer for the same team as my dad, and he was okay with that. He gave us a nice little rivalry once in a while,
cool.
And so it worked out pretty good.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are the memories that definitely stick with
right.
you.
Now, do you have
Absolutely.
backup teams now that you live in Arizona? Is there a backup team for you guys?
Well, we do cheer for the D-backs.
Well, yeah, because when I first moved here, that's when the D-backs first started. That
Yeah,
was their
I
first
was
year.
here before they even existed.
Yeah,
so.
and back then the Brewers were kind of, sorry, they're kind of bad. Same thing as Jenelle. When I was in college, I didn't get to follow the Brewers much because they were never on TV. I was in Iowa. Who cares about the Brewers there? So I kind of fell out of. I could go in the library and read the newspaper, and check up on my Brewers information. That was about it. But yeah, it was D-backs when I moved here. I got to go to the World Series that year, and because my cousin was working with the team then. But that's my backup.
Yeah.
And you cheered for the Braves for a while.
Oh yeah, when I was in college, I liked the Braves because they came from Milwaukee and they were good.
And you could watch them on TV.
And I could see them all the time.
Yep.
Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I didn't mind watching the Cubs on WGN also because, again, it was baseball and it was on TV.
Yep.
Do I regret that choice? No, not really, but a little bit of me inside saying, shouldn't have done that.
But that's all part of becoming a fan.
Right.
That's right.
All right.
Next one.
Oh, wait, no cards to throw around?
No, not today. I'm at a desk today.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good. So, I want to know if you feel like the changes we made to the league have been for the better, where you get to pick a defense and a different kicker if you want, and the number of free agents available since we didn't have that super flex position.
Yeah.
Have you seen it be good for our league?
I think so because it's a lot more fun to be able to pick your kicker and defense each week, in my opinion. You have that choice, you know what I'm saying, to choose which one you want to go with. Surprisingly, a lot of people have just taken both, of the same team every week. Now, are they doing it because they forgot the rule or that's what they want to choose? I don't know, but that's what they've done. as for all the free agents, it's very nice having a lot more people on the waiver wire to choose from. You lose those 14 players last year, and it really hurt. Yeah. And now
we really see that in our other league.
Right, yeah, no kidding. And that team has 16 teams and 16 players on your roster. So, yeah, I know. But in our league, you lose 2 wide receivers in one week like me.
Yeah.
It was convenient to have some options out there. I would have been screwed if it was running backs. If it was 2 running backs gone, even in our league, the pickings are very slim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're just hoping to get somebody who'll get some PT, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I think it's been good to at least give players a choice, a kicker, defense.
Yeah, we did talk about you Monday night because last week you dropped Mark Andrews.
Right.
And then you had Malik Neighbors go down.
No. You missed the part of the story when I dropped him, and then he promptly scores 2 touchdowns.
And then Malik Neighbors went out.
Yeah.
And then Monday night during the game, you lose Tyreek Hill.
Oof, that was
so
nasty.
we laughed about, well, what if he goes back for Mark Andrews right away? And you almost did.
He was on my list.
Almost did.
He was on my list.
So.
All right, next question for both, because you play fantasy league with your family.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys use? What do you use to set your lineup every week? Do you just gut feeling? Are you doing some research? Are you looking at other sites? How do you choose who to put in your lineup?
Well, I know I don't research like he does. Sometimes I don't even recognize the player names very much, so I have to do a little bit of reading. And I do use the same site he uses for most of his research. I don't think he'd like it if I said the name of the site.
It's classified.
It's giving away family secrets.
Yep.
But I have to keep a list because I do that league and I do the contest for the KFFL. So I have this checklist that I go through, and I have it on my computer every Wednesday to remind me I need to go through this before the Thursday games. So I'll do a little bit of research. I'll make sure nobody's out for the week. Although Sunday morning, as the game is kicking off in Dublin, I realized I've got a player out. So I took a 0 for the week.
Jalen Warren, yeah.
Yeah.
You and hundreds of other people around the country.
Yeah, who don't wake up early enough to watch a 6:30 kickoff.
And they're saying it as the game's about to kick off. It's like, well, there goes that player. But when it comes to the pick'em and the survivor, it's just kind of a feeling. Sometimes it's record, sometimes it's knowing how they played the week before. Sometimes because we do the pick'em online, sometimes my picks are with the majority of the people, and sometimes I'm picking against them. Sometimes I pick heavy on home team. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. Last week it really didn't matter because I only got 5 right last week. Yeah, not good. But I don't research like he does.
Yeah. For pick'ems, I read once upon a time that you'll do better than the experts if you look at the records of the 2 opponents and just pick the better record every time. And if it's tied, you take the home team. So that's what I do in pick'ems.
Wow.
Except for if I have a gut feeling about something.
Right.
Like I almost never pick against the Packers, even though that formula says I should.
Yeah.
And there's a few other, I know this is going to happen, but Lamar Jackson's out this week, so, or something like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I almost strictly adhere to that philosophy and just go with it.
And I
do okay.
Yeah.
But as for, the other leagues, and I certainly don't study as much as this league, Kingman Fantasy Football League, but I do my fair share.
Yeah. But as far as setting your lineup on a week-to-week basis, are you just...
I look at matchups a little bit.
Yeah.
Rankings a little bit. And then, it's a gut thing. It really is.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. All right. Now, let's talk just real quick about NFL injuries. It's a huge deal this year. There's been a lot of people in the quarterback realm. I mean, we talked briefly already about the fact you lost 2 guys in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
And wide receiver.
And big guys, too.
Yeah, big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Joe Burrow's out for the year. Connor, Eckler, and maybe even Joe Mixon, who hasn't started, could be out for the year. Hill, Neighbors, out for the year. Look at McCarthy, Purdy, Jackson, Daniels, and maybe even Jackson Dart could be missing 2 to 4 weeks.
Jackson Dart might be out 2 to 4 weeks.
He's got a hamstring
What?
issue. Yep. So Warren, Bucky Irving was hurt towards the end of that game. Jones from Minnesota missing various times. You got Jennings, McLaurin, Worthy, Lamb, Mooney, Evans, Kittle. All wide receivers missing time.
And the majority of them aren't even small injuries. They're fairly big to long-term injuries. We were talking about Monday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we always talk in this league, it can come down to who has injuries and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the start of this year, I think, in the NFL has really produced a lot of injuries. And I don't know if they're just being extra conservative because it's early in the year with these guys being out 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's affecting lineups.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
I know I'm not the only person with a lot of injuries on their team, but yeah, it's too bad. I keep saying, I think, who was it? Odell Beckham put out a post that the NFL really needs to get rid of turf because of all these Achilles and ACL injuries and stuff. And he's just begging the NFL to get rid of AstroTurf, especially at Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah. But what can you do though? It's football. There's supposed to be injuries, just not like this.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
So do you put in extra time studying those backups?
I do. I've got on the CBS site, you can pick a scout team.
Yeah.
I've probably got like 30 names on there, marked down just to keep track of.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe find a replacement that way if I need to.
Yeah.
Don't take that advice. Just this. Let me.
Yeah. Be careful. Don't give away too many of
I
your
know.
secrets.
That's right. John, your questions, darn you.
I know. But lucky for you, that's all really they have today.
Oh, really? That's it. So remember, folks, if you have questions, I'll leave the comments open this time and send your questions in to John for questions for the commissioner.
Did you write yourself a note to do that?
I'll remember this time because I'm not stupid.
Well, we'll see. All right, I know.
Thanks for not arguing with me, John.
Can't argue with the truth.
Yeah, right.
Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. We'll get into this a little bit more later as they look at division by division, but just your early impressions of the season at the 4-week mark. How do you think it's been going, good, bad, or otherwise?
My first impression of the first third is, what the hell is going on here? To quote Coach Lombardi there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's topsy-turvy. Every division is like, what the heck is going on here? I don't understand. It's early though. It's only through 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know I've noticed a few interesting trends.
Yeah.
Looking at the weekly results.
Yeah, and I got lots of notes for breakdown later on.
Okay.
It's like, there's a lot of time. That's the good thing. People like Greg and me and Kevin, our usual suspects who are good and aren't right now to start. There's plenty of time for us to fight back, kind of like you last year. You started out really slow and fought your way back and almost didn't quite, but almost did. So there's time.
Yeah.
But
John?
It's crazy.
Early impressions?
Yeah, I had the same thing. Greg's 0-4. I don't know how that happened.
Right.
And we got 2 undefeated teams. Neither really surprised me a lot. Quinn's got a good team.
Yeah.
Rob and Ed have a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they're due for a bad week because I played them this week. I hope to knock them off that rank.
All right, good luck.
But they've been off. Both teams have played really well for those guys. And so, you never know. There's some people off to some really slow starts. I've made a couple of lists. Most valuable fantasy player.
Me too. I got stuff like that too. Yep.
Could it be Baker Mayfield? He scored more points than anybody else in our fantasy
right.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
More than Lamar Jackson. Lamar's going to miss a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And they said 2 to 3, but then they said that third week is a bye week for him. So he's really not missing 3 weeks.
Okay.
He's only missing a couple. Josh Allen's up there, and Mahomes and Puka Nacua. Puka, the only position player that's got 146 points. Everybody else is less than that.
Wow.
So Puka's doing that. But then also put least valuable fantasy player.
Disappointments. Yep, that's on my sheet too. Yep.
Top of the list, A.J. Brown. He's only scored 41 fantasy points so far this year.
And that includes 2 games when he had like 1 or 2 catches for under 10 yards.
Yeah,
both games.
Last week, 2 catches, 9 yards.
Yep.
And I heard he's rumbling about wanting help.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, but I got Lad McConkey, Brian Thomas had a really horrible start, and there's been some rookies that haven't quite done what they thought they were going to do yet, but they're coming, like Genty in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
is not off to a great start. Travis Hunter not off to a great start. Although he made a great catch. but his total numbers aren't great yet.
Right.
And same with Harvey in Denver.
Yeah.
But J.K. Dobbins has run so well there, he hasn't had a chance to hop in. And then, like I said, and then I've got good surprises and bad surprises. Good surprises, Judkins, the running back out of Cleveland, has really, once he is signed, has really come in and done a nice job for them.
Which is surprising because he signed so late.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Cleveland put him in already.
Yeah, quick, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the big surprise out of Cleveland is Flacco, you're on the bench, and now we're bringing in
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan, from Oregon.
And Sanders going to keep sitting.
Yeah, and he'll be number 2, though. Flacco will be back to number 3, I'm
You think
sure.
so?
Yeah. So, Quentin Johnson is off to a great start for the Chargers. He scored a touchdown every week. Every week.
It's about time.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson is off to a lot better start than I thought he was going to have with the Jets. And Justin Fields. But Justin Fields has done a nice job as a starting quarterback there.
When he's played.
And so, and Travis Etienne has been a guy that we used to see 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he was really good. And he's kind of getting back to that this year.
Yes.
They got the new coach in there, the offensive guy from Tampa Bay.
And that helps.
And so that's made a difference. And the Ibuka kid out of Tampa Bay had a great start.
Yep.
Bad things, we already talked Brian Thomas. Isaiah Pacheco, everybody thought he would really going to come in there and be back to his normal self, and he's done nothing for me.
The Kansas City running game in period has been...
Yeah, that's what got rid of his butt. And Saquon Barkley, he's averaging 3 yards or less a carry right now for Philadelphia. And that offense has been awful. They had 0 passing yards.
I know, I
last week
couldn't
in the
believe
second
that.
half. 0 passing yards.
Unbelievable. 0 for 8 was Hurts in that second half.
And he only threw 8 times in the whole half.
Yeah. And so, so those things, when you see those trends or you see those things, while it's amazing to watch it at the pro level, man, you don't know what to do with your fantasy lineup because those are guys that you're expecting to help carry you.
Yep.
And they're not. And so you get stuck, right? Do I cut them? Do I trade them away? No, they've got to come back, right? It's got to be better. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Well, Jerry's already told me that if Derrick Henry doesn't produce this week, he's going to get rid of him.
Jerry, no.
I know, right? What are you doing?
Yeah. At least work a trade.
All right, as we get ready to go to break, we will be back in a moment with a new segment for the poppy seeds. But Dan, I'm going to turn it over to you to go to break.
Yeah, last month, if you don't remember, everybody, we did a segment called "Where in the World is Junior the Trophy?"
Junior the Trophy.
So, in case you don't remember, John, and you viewers out there, we're going to put up a photo of Junior, the championship trophy that was affectionately named by Jenelle, of one of our places on our trip from this summer. So let's put the photo up here before we go to commercial. And John, you probably don't recognize this, and that's totally okay. But this is before we took the hike up the mountain to take my championship trophy picture. So this is on the bottom. I'm using the restroom or something like that. And Jenelle just put it on this wall and took a nice picture. You got the wildflowers and the actual tundra behind it and stuff. And then you see that person in the background. Well, that there's a big old long hike stairs. No, I guess it's kind of stairs.
It's a combination of steps and path.
Up there, but it's like 600 steps or something like that. So get to the top of that mountain. So that's that's where we took the photo. And I thought, well, Jenelle took this shot. Good camera work by her, I thought. So
Gee, thanks.
we're gonna share it. So, anyways, we'll be back after this, everybody.
Recently, I was invited to attend a top secret meeting of the KFFL 5 Timers Club. But before I could attend, I had to learn the secret knock. It was confusing. It was difficult.
No.
And you know what? Learning it took way too long. There were several times that I almost gave up.
No.
I even had an epiphany a couple of times, but not sure that it helped. But I stuck with it. Son of a... Bottom line, I got in.
Alright, we are back with a new segment for Poppy Seeds called Real or Make Believe. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a statement. And if you agree with the statement, it's real. If you disagree with the statement, make believe. Pretty simple. And this is all based on the first 4 weeks of the season. In the KFFL, not NFL.
Real or make believe?
Real or make believe. Real,
Okay.
you agree. Make believe, you disagree.
All right.
All right. As you've already mentioned, we have two teams that are 4-0 at the third poll. Mike Quinn and Robinette. One of them will be undefeated when we film our next show.
Ooh.
One of our current undefeated teams will still be undefeated when we meet next month.
I'm going to say make believe.
Why?
Boring.
Because I said so. I'd actually have to look at the schedule to figure out what the matchups are, but man, it's hard to win every week. I mean,
It is.
8-0. You're thinking 8-0 or something.
Mhm.
That's tough. That's tough. I gotta think that both of them will lose at one point. Sorry, guys. I gotta think.
John?
You know.
I'm going to say real. And I'm going to say it's Quinn because I plan on beating Robinette this week.
Ulterior motives, gotcha.
So, but I think it's real. I think somebody within a month still will have gone.
Wow.
Somebody could
Yeah,
still
barring
do it.
another major injury, I think somebody will still be undefeated.
As strange as things have been. who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. At the other end of the spectrum, you've already mentioned this one as well. Poor Greg. Going into Monday night, he had a chance to win for the first time this season, but ended up losing, I believe, to Quinn. Greg will win at least twice by our next show.
I'll let you go first.
I'm going to say real. I think his team is better than what he's got so far, 0-4. So if we get 4 weeks and he goes 2-2 since then, I think that's going to be real. I got faith in Greg. Maybe not his team, but I got faith in Greg.
I'm gonna say make believe. One of my things that I wrote down for Greg is he's accumulated so many Raiders on his team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost like he decided this year is okay. Let's just have some fun this year. I'm not winning. I haven't won. I came so close the last couple years. Let's just win. I'm gonna pick up a bunch of Raiders and see how they do. That's just my thought.
Do you think he can win at least once by our next show?
Yes, I think it can happen. Yes.
So you can get
I
off
think
of
I think
that.
he can win
Okay.
one.
All
But
right.
two, I don't.
But getting off the schneid.
Yep.
All right. Going back to Mr. Quinn, he has put up the top weekly points 2 out of the first 4. He will continue to put up high totals all season.
Well, like John said, as long as he stays away from the injury bug, he can do it. I mean, his roster's pretty stacked in that way. He's got Jonathan Taylor having a career year again, which I saw coming.
Yeah.
I that's why I wanted him myself. Achane's been okay. His receivers have been fine. I think he can definitely be a top scorer the rest of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's got the right guys to do it.
Yep. He's just got to stay healthy.
And that's true for everybody.
I know.
Last year, Michael and Mike lost 13 times in the regular season. And I believe that puts them at the top of the record book. for
Yep,
that.
that's the most
Okay.
ever.
This season, they've begun in an interesting trend. Win, loss, win, loss.
Yeah.
They will continue to be a 500 team by our next show.
I'll say that's real. I felt bad for him this week because they put up 220 some points and just having to run into Steve and Matt who put up 276.
Mhm.
But when they've won, they've looked really good. And when they lost, they weren't terrible. Not like last year. There's no other way to say it. But they had a great draft, as we know. We talked about that last month. And it's shown. They've got some improvement and possible playoff team.
Okay.
No, I think that's real. About a 500 club for now until things. We'll go over some notes later, but I think
definitely
that's real.
an improvement over last season.
Yeah.
So okay, and last one for you, Jerry won in week 1, but has gone 0-3 since.
Wait a minute. He won by 1 point.
Okay.
It's a win.
He's
It's
still
better
won,
than losing by
It's
one.
better than losing by 1.
as John knows.
As John knows. And it wasn't even in the 1 point of regular. It was on the
It was on
bench
bench
points.
I know.
But he's been 0-3 since then. He will reverse that trend. He'll start winning more often as the season continues.
Until just the next show or the whole season?
As the season continues.
As the season continues, I'm going to say that's real. He'll pull off a few wins in the next few weeks, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to say make believe.
Boring.
I see one of the things that happens with Jerry, and I love Jerry, as you know, and he drafted a good team this year and it hasn't worked out, but he pulls the trigger pretty quick on getting rid of guys.
Yep, I'll agree.
He's not a patient guy with those. And so if you get rid of guys too quick, especially those guys that you know can perform, like I said, that's a question we all have, right? If your guy's not performing right away, he's quick with a hook.
Yeah.
And some other guys aren't so quick, and they hang with those guys, and then all of a sudden their season gets turned around. And so, because usually the guys you're picking up are not matching, or won't match in the long run what that superstar, that surefire guy does. So, is he going to turn it around and get to 500? I don't think so.
Okay. Huh.
Okay. All right.
Do I have one for you? Real and make believe for Jenelle?
Ooh, I love it.
I don't have one off the top of my head. Let's see if I can come up with something.
Darn.
By the end of the show, maybe I can come up with
Darn.
one.
And-
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Real or make believe. You are going to have to act as the commissioner at least one more time on a Monday night this year,
This season.
this season.
I'm going to say real.
Ooh, no. Why?
Only because, unfortunately, the last few years as we head into fall and winter, your health has been on shaky ground.
Okay.
So I could see you having to stay home on a Monday night just because you feel that crummy. And I have to step in, don my Mrs. Commish shirt. If you weren't there Monday night, you missed it. And just take over again.
She's not wrong.
I hate to say that, but I
Yeah.
could see it happening. So, all right, and that was real or make believe. We'll be back in a moment with some divisional analysis on the first third of the season.
Hey fans, this is Commissioner Dan Poppy. In this economy, it's hard to get to Monday Night Football sometimes. That's why we're coming up with better reasons for you to come out and support the rest of the league. We invite you to come out next Monday night for the annual Kingman Fantasy Football Chicken Wing Eating Contest. Several of your fellow league mates and perhaps some random strangers will shovel wing after wing into their pie holes in an effort to be crowned KFFL Eating Champion. And one lucky attendee will receive $5 cash if the last place contestant reaches 20 wings consumed. This is just one way we're trying to win our owners back in this recession. Stay tuned for more. Kingman Fantasy Football League. Aren't we great?
I hope we're the #1 rated fantasy football review show on YouTube.
Ratings are going up.
We got 2 followers, folks. We are flying. One of our videos has like 50 views or something.
no.
And welcome back to Poppy Seeds, the third of the way through the season show. And as you notice, our set is grown another person here. We want to welcome Mr. Scott Kern to the show, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
we've been looking for a special guest for now 2 years at least, right, John?
That's right.
And they settled on me.
We settled on you. Exactly right. Anything you'd like to say before we get started? I know, John, we're going to ask him some of those questions like we did before with you, your stuff. Let's get his opinions on some of those.
All right, we'll do.
But
No.
anything you'd like to say about,
Not yet. I don't want to monologue just yet. I want to get a feel for how we're gonna ask these questions, and then we'll just go with it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to fire some right at you. John already fired them at Jenelle and I
Yep.
Okay.
about our sports love and everything. Go ahead, John.
So, Scott, you appear to be a Cardinals fan. Have you always been a Cardinals fan? How did you develop that fan base?
So I first started learning about football in the mid '80s. My aunt and uncle lived in San Francisco, and my uncle was actually the barber for the 49ers. So
The team barber.
he used the team barber. He wasn't like the team barber, but he was the barber the guys went to. So when I go visit my aunt after he passed away, my aunt moved to Boulder, Colorado, and they had a 1982 49ers Super Bowl world champion autograph poster there. And I always loved it. And my aunt gave me one of the pearl sweatshirts from it. So I was technically a 49er fan before the Arizona Cardinals showed up when they're still in St. Louis. But my dad took me to my first game against the Giants December 23rd, 1989. And it was the year the Giants won the Super Bowl with Jeff Hostetler. And I got to see all of football live for the first time. And I've been just there ever since. Cardinals fan ever since. Suns fan, Diamondbacks, it's all. You're from Arizona, you got to rep it. You guys are from Wisconsin, so you know how it is.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Huh.
Cool.
That's good. The next question was, how do you think the rule changes for the league have been this year? Being able to choose a kicker and a defense from different teams this week.
Well, that's a better question than I thought I was going to go, because I thought you were going to talk about the real league rule changes. And Cardinals Seahawks debacle. I'm still not emotionally prepared for that. I like it. I like it better. I'm in one of those phases right now with a case of the yips, where no matter what team I pick, the other player does better that week. I'm just in one of those phases, but I like the ability to go mix and match.
Yeah. Yep. And tell us, how do you go about, you and BJ, how do you guys go about picking your starting lineup every week?
He leaves that to me now. Ever since we went online, he used to do the picking. We would text every Sunday, and now he just leaves me to it, and I do my own research, and I try to play the matchups, and I just try to play the best odds.
Do you go look at projected points, even though our points are so different than everybody else's? Do you go look at projected points on other sites?
Not really, because to be honest, John, I still don't know how we score points 20 years into our league. So
I think my job is safe.
yeah, I'm not petitioning to become commissioner anytime soon. No, I look at matchups and I go with my gut. And for whatever reason, my gut in this league has given me a 20-year championship drought. But it works in every other league, so
Maybe you need to start studying more.
maybe I should. I spending more money in the draft and being more present on Mondays.
All right, there you go.
All right. So now we're going to do a little breakdown of each division.
Mhm.
We're going to, John's got some notes. I know I've got some notes. We're going to talk about just division by division, just really kind of quick about our first, impressions. Janelle, you can throw your 2 cents in if you want to, but so let's put up the standings first of all for the Jerry Palazzolo division. And as you can see, we got Mike Quinn on top at 4-0. That's a really good
It's impressive
start.
for Mike.
It is. And then you got me down at the bottom. But I'm not last in the league anymore, John.
Oh,
I'm not dead last anymore.
Is that us?
congratulations, Greg.
It is Greg, I believe.
Greg is 0-4.
Here's to you, Greg.
But as you can see, you John and Roland, they're off to a good start. And then Brian's, like you said earlier, Janelle, they've won twice now, which is 100% more than they got last year. So they're a good start. And Solano's been okay too. But each team has had their share of surprises and disappointments. And we might as well just start with me. Because my surprise is, okay, Indianapolis has been fantastic.
Yeah.
For the kicker and defense. That's been great to have, especially Spencer Schrader, who, I don't know, but that's who the kicker is, and he's been putting up lots of points. Now, like you said before, have I been playing him? No. Nope. But sometimes I have. And then, like you said, John, Brian Thomas on Jacksonville just has done nothing. Even though they changed the offense, Trevor Lawrence just isn't throwing to him, or when he does, he doesn't catch the ball. They keep saying that Brian Thomas has some wrist injury.
And you just picked him up last week.
Yeah, I got him in
So when are you going to drop him again?
I will not be dropping him because after losing 2 more receivers this week, I kind of have to hold on to him now.
No choice. I understand.
Hopefully, Trevor Lawrence will start, I don't know, throwing better because he keeps throwing all these little short passes, dink and dunk passes. He's not going deep or long anymore.
I think you have to remember, though, with Tampa Bay, with Liam Cohen's offense, that's a Sean McVay offense. So it's West Coast style. That's dink and dunk. They're not going to go down the field until they have an established running game with ETN. And so if ETN's not going to do it, and who's the other kid they have?
Tutton?
Oh, yeah.
So until they get that running game going, and it's going to take time for that offensive line to gel and that team to get going. I don't know if you watched that game against San Francisco on Sunday.
Some of it, yeah.
But, that is a much better Jacksonville team than I expected. And I can't tell if San Francisco is really not as good as they say they are, or if Jacksonville's just improving at that level of pace with Liam Cohen. I think they've got a great coach there.
And is he getting double teamed a lot more than last year because now he's a known entity?
And there's no Christian Kirk. And Travis Hunter's not playing the snaps that he should be playing.
Well, they need to put him on defense. He's not good.
They need to pick a lane with Hunter.
Now, my disappointment is obviously Tyreek and Neighbors being out, and my quarterback play has been bad. Lawrence, McCarthy, okay, Dart did finally good, but then you just said he's out, which I didn't even know about, so yeah.
Well, he could be.
We'll see. Mike and Mike, they got 2 wins already, like I said, and they're putting up the points, like we talked about earlier, Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields, they just haven't flourished yet for fantasy.
Right.
They're winning games in the NFL. You talked about Fields before, and they're putting up the points the Jets are, but not for fantasy, although we had that long touchdown run on Monday night, finally. But Mike and Mike, they're up to that good start. I got Steve Solano. The whole team really isn't putting up the points that I expected. Now, some of that is because Joe Burrow's been out and will be out for a long time.
That hurts a lot. That pretty much ruins anyone that has a
But
synthetic ankle.
But he's got, it hits anybody that's got an ankle. But Baker Mayfield, we talked about earlier, has put up more fantasy points than anybody else in our league so far this year.
Yeah, but that's about it.
We talked in the preseason, boy, he got Mayfield and Burrow. How's he going to decide? Well, now there's not
easy
an
decision.
option.
Right,
It's an
easy
easy
decision.
choice for him.
John and Roland, Javonte Williams was a fantastic pickup. Now, who knew he was going to do what he is with Dallas? Except Roland. He knew. Yeah. And then you already mentioned Quentin Johnson, who scored every week. Took him 3 years before he finally figured out how to catch the ball. But didn't you have him last year?
We did. We've had him for 2 years.
2 years.
Hoping he'd learn how to catch a ball.
Well, he finally learned after he's not on your team.
That's why he's exploding for someone else.
Kind of like you would hope Mike Williams in Detroit would be on this path.
Javonte.
Not Javonte.
Jameson Williams.
Jameson.
Yeah.
But he's not on this path yet.
No.
They thought he was going to be, but Quentin Johnson's way ahead.
Yeah. You got to give Williams some more time in Detroit this season. It's a contract year, so he'll get it done. It'll be too little too late.
Right. And then you already talked about A.J. Brown doing very little. And Chris Olave and the whole Saints. What? I mean, we knew they were going to be bad, but this bad?
Well, I don't know if you watched the first game against Arizona. That's the only time I watched the Saints this season. But every time Olave got hit, it felt like they were pulling him into the tent to check him out for concussions.
Really?
So I think he's got a lot of bubble wrap around him, and they're not taking any chances with him until he proves that he can be super healthy. He's not going to go across the middle. He's going to be just a stretch guy.
He threw a pick last week.
Olave did?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Yeah, he tried to throw the ball back to Spencer Rattler, and he never got it over the defender's head. So.
I missed that.
But I also think Spencer Rattler's not long for that starting position.
No.
They drafted that kid.
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, he's gonna get a shot this year too.
Yeah.
I think if they get the top draft pick next year, you can put Drew Aller from Penn State.
But I don't know. The problem with Allard is the fact that he can't win a big game. He just can't. He's 0-6 against the top 5 teams.
Is that an Allard thing, or is that a James Franklin thing with Penn State? That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
It's a whole other podcast.
That's another whole sit down.
Yeah. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Yep.
I don't even like Penn State, and I hate that I know that.
Guys, Mike Quinn had Jonathan Taylor in the draft this year, and he spent a decent amount of money, but this guy has put up the numbers that we finally expected to see after about 2 years off. That's really led Mike Quinn. I think it's been good for him. if Caleb Williams or Tua, who are his two quarterbacks, could really, blossom and do something productive more than the 15 to 20 points every week, except for when Caleb played Dallas, Quinn could really be putting 250 up every week.
Yeah.
He really could.
Well, he's got Puka, who I think has been helped by the fact that Devontae Adams is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he's doing Puka things just like because he can.
He's got someone to take the double team.
Yeah. And so I really think at this point, after watching so far, I think Quinn's a real threat to win the whole thing for our league.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be surprised.
It comes down to health.
Yeah,
you got to
it
stay
does.
healthy. You make the right call.
Yep.
That's good. Yep. All right, let's move on to the next division. The
Also, I
Central.
want
go
to
ahead.
point out.
Yeah.
I appreciate that we have Jerry in our league for so long that he gets a division named after him. No championships. I guess that's a consolation prize. After so many seasons, you get a division.
Sure.
So BJ and I have to be coming close to that. That's
Well,
the dumpster fire division would be ours.
We'll
right?
bring it up at the next production meeting.
I hope we do, because I would expect that if Jerry has the Palazzolo division, Jerry should be in the division every year regardless. It's the honorary thing to do.
well, we did bring it up on the first show that the other two divisions might be renamed here in the near future. We're looking for ideas.
I would like to throw out the dumpster fire named after our team because we can't get it together.
Okay.
Duly noted.
Noted. All right. Let's go to the Central, maybe soon to be renamed the Dumpster Division. John, you're on top right now. 3-1
For now.
for now. Smoke and mirrors, is that what you're trying to say?
No, but again, I've got Jamar Chase, who is obviously being hurt by Brown not being able to get him the ball.
Yeah.
And we're just not consistent yet. We might have a good week, and then it's an okay week, and then a good week, and then an okay week. So if I don't get consistency out of my guys, it could turn the other way.
Well, you got a
quick.
coup with the Green Bay kicker and defense there.
Yeah.
Remember we were joking about
That's
that?
right.
Mm-hmm. And they've been pretty good, except for this week against Dallas. But and then John, if Stroud or Penix could put up consistent numbers too, I think you'd be a lot better off.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. Steve and Matt and Justin are just kind of right in the middle. And then Kevin, who's been dominant the last 3 years, he's off to a 1-3 start, very slow.
It's not how he starts, how he finishes. He always finds a way to get in there.
Yeah.
He finds a way to sneak into the playoffs every year. So he's like,
But he kept Chase Brown, who's not.
well, again,
He's not had a good start in Cincinnati.
it's
Even
the-
when Burrow was there, he wasn't on.
he was
Yeah.
slow to get, but that's how he was last year too. Even with Burrow and a healthy offense, he had a slow start in Cincinnati, and once that offense started getting going there toward the end, that's when he really took off.
Yeah.
So the problem is with no one, they could stack that box. I mean,
Yeah.
Higgins and Chase are threats, but if you can't get the ball to them, it's a moot point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you forget Noah Fant's on that offense too for a tight
Yeah.
end, so that should be someone right.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Cincinnati games in the morning, and I have a lot of thoughts about this.
But Kevin will be all right. He'll make a run. I have no doubt about
Oh, I
it.
know. And you picked up Daniel Jones after the first week. That was
Smart.
a coup.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Smart.
He spent his money in the draft and he regretted it, but his roster's so good. Smith Jigba's finally playing well. Dunze in his second year is doing great. It doesn't hurt it doesn't help, I should say, that Jay Daniels got hurt for him, but we'll see.
But he'll be back this week, won't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then who do you
Maybe.
start, Jones or Daniels?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Justin's got Lamar Jackson now hurt. You
Yep.
said 2 weeks, maybe more. Devontae Adams, you already mentioned, he's been a great surprise, playing like vintage Devontae Adams.
Yep.
And Chase McLaughlin on Tampa Bay has been putting up big time points kicking for him.
Yeah.
That's been fantastic.
Last week he hit 65 and like 53.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love those points.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Now, he lost Brock Purdy at quarterback, which didn't
that-
hurt, so he's got Jackson and Purdy both hurt
Yeah,
at
but
the
is
same time.
Is that a loss losing Purdy though? I'm still not sold on as a franchise quarterback.
I
No.
agree. I agree with you.
But for Justin, if both those guys are out for the next 2 weeks, that's 0 points.
That
at the
is 0.
quarterback position.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Yeah. And Justin Jefferson, now you're a Viking guy. He still hasn't put it together, but their quarterback play has been spotty. So
Yeah, he finally put it together in the first half against Pittsburgh on Sunday.
did he?
Yeah, he had a good game.
He had a great game.
Okay.
He had a
Against
great game.
Pittsburgh.
And
Okay.
he's got Cleveland this week, so it should be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that matchup.
But I got a feeling Minnesota's going to have the ball a lot because that defense against a rookie starting quarterback could be.
Which is going to feed into the running game. So if you have with Jordan Mason, I'd start Jordan Mason this week because he's going to ball control offense.
Yeah.
Stephen Matt and Jacobs, Irving, and Cook at the running back position, just anchoring that team, and that's helping them stay competitive.
Irving's in the walking booth this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
But George Pickens picked up a lot of points this week with CD Lamb being gone. So if he's out for 3 to 4 weeks, that Pickens pick is going to look huge.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I got here too. So that's pretty much all I got on this, Angel. You got anything else, John?
Nope.
Okay, great.
I really don't. Like you said, James Cook was worth. I mean, he held out, but it looks like he's worth the money that Buffalo paid him, and he's definitely worth the money that Steve paid out to get him on his team.
Yeah.
He paid a nice chunk for him too.
Yeah, and he scored more touchdowns already through 4 weeks than I really thought. I thought he'd maybe get this many touchdowns in half the season, not a quarter of the season.
Yep.
So good for him. All right, let's go to the South. Let's go to the South, where our other undefeated team, Robin Ed, is sitting there at 4-0, 58 points. Whew. Etienne, we already mentioned it. He's playing well. Amon-Ra, we knew he was going to play well. Goff and Love, quarterback, knew he was playing well.
That's a great combination.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you're banked all three of those positions with a solid guy. Now, Calvin Ridley, what the heck happened to him in Tennessee? Is it all Cam Ward or something else?
It's gonna be Brian Callahan on offense. And I was reading an article today that the whole coaching staff is worried about their jobs after an 0-4 start.
Well, and they also why would Tyler Lockett go there?
Yeah.
You promise a starting job when you're over the hill. You go where you got to go to get that money.
Yes.
I guess.
I hear Tennessee's a nice place to retire.
Okay. You like moonshine, maybe. The rest of Robin Ed's team, though.
doesn't?
Well, that's true. Check out her out of the room. The rest of the team, though, I just have. It's kind of a meh. You know, they've got the solid nucleus there, and the rest of the team's just kind of there, and they're winning games as a result.
Now, Deebo Samuel could end up being a big person for them if Terry McLaurin is out for an extended period of time.
Debo's got to stay healthy, and either Mariota or Daniels has to get him the ball, and they got to be creative with that Cliff Kingsbury offense.
Yeah.
And he's had one good year as an OC in Washington, and just from past personal trauma with it, I want to believe that it's more than just one season. You know, and I'm pulling for him. Like, I hope they do great.
Yeah.
But I'll believe it when I see it come November, December.
Yeah. Sure.
And while I plan on beating them this week, I don't see that happening, but we'll see. I made a prediction they could be the first team to wrap up their division this year.
I wouldn't doubt that. No,
It's not hard. I've seen that division. I'm in that division.
It's
and we are dumpster diving at its finest right now.
yeah. Damon and Brooke are in second, and they're a whole 16 points behind yet. So, but Patrick Mahomes had a little bit of resurgence for fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. And we already talked about that Egbuka kid from Tampa Bay. So that's been great for Damon and Brooke.
Yeah.
Now, for Damon and Brooke, the rest of the team, they're having a hard time getting going.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of teams.
Yeah.
You know, you got your studs and everybody else is just kind of doing whatever. And then, like you said, the rest of your division, your team, Scott, you got Herbert, Scadoo.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm not sold on Scadaboo yet, but you give him the ball right now in that offense, he's going to put him on their shoulders. That's what he did for Arizona State. Yeah. And having the Bo Nix, Justin Herbert combination, I guess we have to start playing that matchup per matchup because Bo Nix had himself a day against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Herbert had a good day too, but I mean,
but now he goes to Philadelphia.
Yeah, so I've got to be smarter about who I'm playing this week. Yeah.
Right. Jerry's not in last place.
Well,
1-3. Surprise? Hey, he picked up Aaron Rodgers, and it's actually kind of worked out for him. Disappointment? Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Now, you missed the breaking news before, Scott, before you got here, but Jerry told me just this morning that if Mr. Derrick Henry does not produce, he's going to cut him.
He's going to cut him.
He's going to cut him.
Oh, wow.
So...
Does he know something Baltimore doesn't?
I don't know, but John and I both...
Jerry, if you're out there right now,
go.
you're watching, talk to me. Let's make a trade. We need some running back help, and you need everything. We'll talk.
There you go. And then Greg, you know, okay, he's 0-4, as we said. My surprise for his team is Russell Wilson for 1 week, and then was nothing. Genty, slow start, like you said. He's been coming along. And Cleveland defense. Been
Huge,
really good for him when he plays it. My disappointment, though, for Greg, and I said this earlier, Greg, you have too many Raiders on your team.
It's been historically an issue with him.
But he'd gotten away from that for a few years and been successful.
Because he picked up Cardinal players for his team.
I know, right?
That's still marginal.
What do you got, John? Anything else?
Damon and Brooke, for them to be successful, they're going to have to make sure they pick the right lineup every week.
Okay.
I got that one for them. Scott and BJ, Chubb is losing time.
Yeah,
To that
and I know
Marks
that, and
kid.
we came across that Monday night when you got Marks over us, and that was
And I'm surprised New England has not used Henderson as much as everybody thought they were going to use him. So you kind of ran into some bad luck right there with those guys.
But I feel like even if Chubb shares the workload with Marks, I know Marks is going to become the bell cow there pretty quick.
soon. Yeah.
But I feel like Chubb in his strength is going to be their goal line guy.
Yeah.
And Henderson's going to pick it up as he goes. So who's the other running back in New England?
Stevenson.
And they're pretty similar backs as it is.
Yeah.
But I think just youth is gonna push Henderson over the top. You don't have a guy like that on your team.
Yeah.
And not give him the ball. I mean, that's a Mike Vrabel team.
Yeah.
He had Derrick Henry for years. You want a big back.
And then problems holding on to the ball too.
I don't think so. I'll be honest. I don't really watch New England because I don't care about New England. But
Who does?
exactly.
Yeah. And then Harrison has struggled early until last week.
Yeah.
And that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because Ted McMillan's our other guy, and I think Bryce Young's having a hard time getting the ball to anybody.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And Jerry, I think things will get better for him. Injuries from starting players, other teams could actually benefit Jerry because he's got a lot of those other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then Greg, like we said, slow start by key guys. I'm really surprised he hasn't won a matchup yet, but Greg could still make a run with his roster. He could make a run. You just never know.
That's fair.
We got a long ways to go.
We do have a long ways to
It's
go.
only October 1st.
That's
As
right.
the calendar tells us.
Yep.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Point that out. October 1st.
All right. That's it for your divisional.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Me too.
We're going to go to break. We're going to take a look here at where Junior the Trophy ended up next. And when we come back, another new segment. We're going to put Scott on the hot seat.
Oh.
All right, so let's put up this week's next picture here. And Scott, you might be familiar with where this is. John, any idea?
It's not Delmar.
It is not Del Mar.
Not Delmar.
we did not head over to California. Scott, you've probably been here.
That looks like the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
That is exactly
It is?
right. It is outside the Stanley Hotel.
Did you stay there?
We did not.
Did you take the tours there?
Yes, I have.
He did that 2 years ago
I
when
have.
we went with his family.
So this is the front. So if you've seen Dumb and Dumber, they come out in their sports car. Then this is it, right here in the front there.
Or a little horror movie called The Shining.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Uh-huh.
The Overlook Hotel, as it was.
Yep.
That's right. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes.
And it changed the way Joe Madden, he was very cerebral and thought out how he was going to manage this game. It changed everything he thought he was going to do because it was like, we've got to lead, we are not going to blow this. He talked about things speeding up. I think it's sped up for Joe Madden. And then having the game just with wild confidence then. And a little tapper, almost a swinging butt, crosses on it, spins, throws, and he throws it away. Pass Rizzo with the linesman goodness.
All right, we are back with another new segment today called A Word with, in this case, Scott. I'm going to ask you a series of 10 questions.
Okay.
In theory, one-word answers.
Good luck.
Embellish
That's good.
wherever needed.
Okay.
Give me what you need to do. All right?
Okay.
All right, let's get started. First question. You talked earlier about supporting the Arizona teams. Makes total sense. What is your favorite sport, though?
Football.
Football?
Hands down. I love baseball. Basketball is a close second to football, but I love football.
Football. Okay. We talked on Monday night. You've been crazy busy.
Mhm.
When you do get a day off or time off, what is your favorite day off activity?
Grocery shopping. And in all honesty, I know everyone online shops now and has it delivered.
Mm-hmm.
I will be in Walmart or Safeway at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning before it gets busy, and I will just wander the aisles. It's my favorite way to just center.
I agree.
Yeah.
For a time I did the online shopping and just picked it up, but I like doing the shopping myself, and I go early on Friday. Same thing.
I don't want someone else picking up my produce or my
Certain things,
Yeah.
especially. Yep,
100%.
absolutely. Now, for a time, I don't know how long you did Liquid Carnage with
Yeah.
Jason,
Jason Edgeworth, yeah.
And I know I listened to a few of the shows. He listened to all of them.
Thank you, Dan. Off camera.
Welcome.
Out of your run of Liquid Carnage, what
Seven
was
seasons, yeah.
7 seasons, wow. What was your favorite topic? If you had to pick one, could you pick one? I know I enjoyed the day you talked about sharks in Shark Week. I enjoyed that one.
You know what's funny about that podcast? When we started it off, it was so much planning. Like the way you guys planned is great. Like blocking, we had very similar things. And by the end, it was like, it's a busy day. What do you want to talk about? Let's just figure it out. And we would find our flow halfway through the show. And I think Dan could probably say that sounds about right the way it ended. But we had a night. A few friends and I did it in Williams, Arizona in 2017.
Okay.
And we were at one of the bars up there, the Canyon Club. And we were just sitting there just BS and having a good time. There were people singing karaoke, and a lady came up and talked to us. And she came up, she just sitting by herself, and she said, "You guys look like you were having such a great time. Can I sit with you and have a drink?" So I said, "Sure. Come sit with us." We started talking to her. Her name was Tracy. And she started telling us how she was driving across country because she had been diagnosed with cancer and she was terminal. So she's on a trip back home to her daughters, saying goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
So she spent the night hanging out with us. We danced with her, and we closed out the bar at 2:00 in the morning. And she was probably 70, 75 years old. So it was past our bedtime. So I'm assuming it was past hers.
Mm-hmm.
But we walked her back to her hotel because it was on the way back to our house, and it was one of those things when we dropped her off, we had that thought, and maybe it's because we had a few drinks that night, like, if we go back to that door and knock on it first thing in the morning, is there going to be anyone there? Mm-hmm. Or are we going to go ask the person at the front desk and say that no one was ever in that room that night? It's just one of those feelings, but we talked about that, and that's actually one of our highest rated shows of all time. That one went to 37 different countries.
Wow.
So
basically an unplanned show that became
an unplanned show that became one of our best.
Became one of your best.
Yeah.
Very cool. What do you like most about Kingman?
I was born here. I love that Kingman means well. This town has such a huge heart. It doesn't always come across that way with the intentions, but I think everybody here really wants to try to make this a better place for everybody. Whether it happens fast or not remains to be seen, but
that's true. Yeah,
everyone tries.
Would you agree it's changed a lot in recent years?
100%.
What is your dream job?
Such a loaded question. I would tell you it would be a food truck chef, like a chalkboard food truck chef. So whatever you get at the grocery or off the Cisco truck, and that's your special. You put it on the chalkboard, and when it's done, it's done. And I've joked with people that when I retire, I'm just gonna go to Williams and go work at the Grand Canyon Distillery and sling coffee in the morning and go coach football in the afternoons. Just
very cool.
Do that. So maybe that's the new dream job.
Well, having sampled some of your cooking, I think I would be in line at your truck if you ever opened one. Not to bring up bad tidings, but you and BJ have never won the KFFL title.
No. God help you well if we do. I'll say that right now.
What is the one thing that would finally give you the championship?
Staying on top of our team for a whole season. Like, both of us having the ability to sit there and be consistent and make the Mondays and make the changes and, be a little bit more shrewd than life has allowed us to be.
Okay.
But that day, when that day comes, because it will come, I think sooner than most people expect.
Yeah, law of averages. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It will be well known we are the champions, and I will probably retire shortly thereafter. So
then that would be the season that I really have to go all out on the championship shirt.
You have no idea. Wait till you guys see the picture everyone has to keep in their house. I've already thought it out.
That sounds like him.
It's not a picture, it's a poster. I'm not even gonna lie. I will travel to every Monday night to make sure that thing is hung somewhere prominent.
I look forward to that. That could be fun.
So do I, Jenelle. So do I.
What would you say is your guilty pleasure? Everybody has a guilty pleasure, whether they'll admit it or not. What is your guilty pleasure?
Oh, my guilty pleasure. Honestly, it's the WWE. It's wrestling. It is the most consistent soap opera on TV, and it's dumb fun. And I don't watch the matches. I just watch the drama, like the back and forth. That's actually how I learned to public speak. Was watching early 90s wrestling, the Bret Harts and Macho Man Randy Savages.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
if you ever go to one of my events in the community, if I have enough to drink, not so much anymore, but you would see some of those characteristics come out
Okay.
as the evening went on.
Okay. Interesting. Now you have what, 2, 3 dogs?
I've got 2 now.
Okay. What is your favorite animal? Is it dogs or is it something else?
I think it'd probably be dogs.
Dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it about dogs that you like?
They don't judge. I mean, they don't. Mine have been with me. They're A1s from day ones, and doesn't matter. They're still there. So
They're going to be there,
they're
yep.
there, yeah.
What is your all-time favorite movie?
I got asked that last month in a chamber meeting, and it's a hard question to answer. It's like a tie between Tombstone, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, The Three Amigos. That's out there. I mean, there's so many, but I would say those are 3 that I could watch no matter
They're
what.
easy to put on and just
Yeah.
have on, yep.
Yep.
And final question.
Okay.
If there were no restrictions
Mhm.
and you could do anything, what would you do?
So we're talking like The Purge.
Well, no, not that far.
Okay. Okay. but no restrictions.
No moral restrictions.
No
well, moral restrictions, I guess, would
Because
exist.
that is The Purge.
Yeah.
That's a solid question. I don't know if I can actually answer that right now. I feel like I have to be able to answer that next time I come on the show. Because I honestly, no one's ever asked me that question. If there were
Nothing to hold you back.
everything was on the table and nothing would hold me back. And I guess it goes, is this a kid's show? I mean, do they watch this? What do we rate it before I answer that?
Just say what you want.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I really have to take some time to think about that one. That's a solid question.
Well, how about a location, someplace you've been that you really want to go back? Because I know you've been to places like Louisiana.
Yeah, I love Louisiana.
Okay.
I really want to go to the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Transylvania, Romania has a tour every October that ends with a party in Dracula's Castle on Halloween night.
Ooh.
So I've seen those, and that seems like it'd be a fun thing to go do.
Okay. Cool. Guys, how do you think you did?
I thought he did great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right. We will take another commercial break and we'll have yet another new segment when we return.
JenelleSews.com is now open. Specializing in crochet and cross-stitch, Jenelle will get a project done for you. Yes, this busybody woman will make your whole home full of these little critters. Just $49.95 will get these magical hands working while you wait. Visit JenelleSews.com now. Allow 8 to 10 weeks per project. Each project will also include cussing, screaming, starting over, and quitting for days at a time. Each project includes a $10 aggravation fee to cover these issues. JenelleSews.com. So what?
Hi, we're back in another new segment. This has been a show of a lot of new segments this time.
First.
I'm gonna make these 3 work a little bit and think a little bit, and I know that might be asking a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Kind of late in the day for that.
I'm gonna test their ability to spell.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Could be interesting.
This is the KFFL Spelling Bee.
I have a list of 7 names. They are all current players. And I had to find names that I think I can pronounce properly, because I know that can make a difference. On some of the names, I'll ask you to spell just the first or the last name. A couple of the names, it's going to be the full name. And if it happens to be a name with any special like punctuation marks, the teacher in me says, you gotta have the marks.
Oh, good Lord.
So
How many?
There's an apostrophe somewhere.
I'm going to be 0 for 7, folks.
I know.
All right.
When does Tua's name come out? That's the question.
First name. Tua Tungavailoa. Just his last name. Everybody knows how to spell his first name. Just his last name.
I think I know this because I always spell it out every time when I do the email. Oops, I didn't do this. I didn't space it out right.
I didn't make my font large enough.
Oh, you're fine.
All right.
Go ahead and show me
We
when
can
you're
show
ready.
When we're ready.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see we can do it smaller. Okay.
Let's see. John, sorry.
All right.
Scott, sorry. Dan got it.
Yay! I got one.
Dan got
Write the
it.
weekly emails, I guess.
Again, I do email. I do type it a few times each week.
There you go.
Hey.
All right. Next one might be a little bit eeasier. Jimmy Garoppolo. Just his last name. Just his last name. Garoppolo.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're gonna try.
Well, 3 for 3. Incorrect.
All three of us.
All three.
Oh.
Garoppolo. 1 L.
So I was close. I just think
You
I
were
didn't know in the
close,
middle.
yeah.
Where's as accurate as his passing?
Who cares? He hangs out with a stripper.
That's fine.
All right, next name. I just want the first name this time. Jahmyr Gibbs. I need Jahmyr.
He was on my team last year. I can do this.
Hold on, I wasn't even done yet.
Well, you got two different
You got two different spellings, so let me just make it
Yeah,
the right.
but I think-
There's an H in there clearly.
I think this is the right way.
The Y is correct.
That's why I changed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I got two.
You got 2.
Are you keeping track of the score?
I actually am.
Okay.
That's right.
For the record, I have no idea about any of these names.
And there's no collusion on Monday night either when you're getting your prep work done. That's fine.
All right, the next.
Hey, full disclosure, I had to come out of the restroom and rewind the TiVo and just see the play 6 minutes.
We told her not to tell you, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I tried to tell him it was a scratching infection.
That's it was a bruise, it's fine.
Walk it off. All right, the next name, I need the full name.
Uh-oh.
Jackson Smith Njigba. Stop showing off over there.
Scintillating color.
Oh, let's see. Nope. Yep, Dan's got it again.
I'm good at something. What are they
John
separating?
almost. You had
What do you got?
no S in his first name.
Oh.
J-A-X.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Scott.
It's alright.
You didn't know this was going to be a test.
No one informed me there'd be some preparation to see who does that spell right.
I don't know.
And the next one, I also need the full name. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
For God's sakes. Corey Krosky.
Krosky Merritt.
I think I'm wrong.
I know I am.
Question mark is not it. You're missing
Oh, I missed.
So close.
Dan gets it again.
Did I get
Oh.
it? Missed it by
Yeah.
a vowel.
Vowel.
I wasn't sure
Yep.
about that second T at the end.
Yep. It's 2 double letters in that. Very nice.
What? Okay, so we're not on the board, John.
Yeah, that's
This gets
Pink
skunked.
skunked. Yep. All right, next one. I just need the last name. Dallas Goddard.
I thought you said Cowboys.
It is Goedert. 1 letter again. Good job, John.
Did you? Oh,
Wait a minute. She said I need last name, so I went with last name.
You guys treat your special guests in a hell of a way, I'll tell you that much right here.
And the final one.
Good job, Jenelle. He's never coming back.
Well, he'll come back if I'm not on him. That'll be the
We'll have to
deal.
answer your question next time about in the
That's
last
true.
segment. So.
That's true. And the final name, I need the full name first and last. Kaimi Fairbairn. You forgot a letter and the apostrophe is in the wrong
Oh, that's semantics.
place. And there's an extra R in his last name. So Dan gets it again.
Did I get it right?
Dan got it again. Dan, you got 6 out of the
Wow, what did I win?
7. Nothing.
No.
Dan Stokes, the show again.
All right, great.
Our undying admiration as the commissioner.
There you go. All right. Before we go to our final break, I have a trivia question for the 3 gentlemen here. And yes, I know I called you gentlemen. Oh, well. We talked earlier in the show. Michael and Mike finished last season with 13 losses, but all time have made playoff appearances 12 times. Who are the only 2 teams with more than 12 playoff appearances each? Something for you to ponder. Again, Michael and Mike finished with 13 losses last year, but have made playoff appearances 12 times. Only 2 teams have made it more than 12 times. We'll give that answer when we come back from our break, and I believe we have one more.
I actually left it in the other room, so we'll have to do it after the next commercial break.
Well, we're going into our next segment, so save it for the next show.
All right, we'll do.
All
Okay,
right.
we'll do that.
So we will be right back with some final thoughts.
Sunday! Monster Truck Rally! September the 11th at the Brown County Arena! Come see Bigfoot! Death Maiden 2! Iron Benders! Grave Digger! And Little Pink Petunia! Featuring special guests, the Oak Ridge Boys! Bring the kids to see 300-foot flame-throwing robot wonder, Ultra! And don't miss Dynamite Daisy! That's Sunday! Sunday! The Monster Truck Rally! September 11th at the Brown County Arena! Be there!
All right, we're back. Our trivia question once again. Michael and Mike coming off of their 13 losses last year, but 12 playoff appearances as a team. Only 2 teams with more than 12 playoff appearances. Can you name those 2 teams?
I got you.
All right, you go first. You're our guest. All right.
I'm going to go with Kevin and John.
Kevin
Okay.
and John.
Dan?
I'm going to say John and Roland. And I think Kevin's a good bet, too. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I was. I was at Kevin and John and Roland.
Okay.
That's where I was.
Well, you are correct with one of your guesses. Second most is actually you with 14 appearances.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
And John and Roland with 17 playoff appearances.
And how many titles?
5.
Yeah.
So
Wow. So where's Kevin in the rankings?
that I don't remember.
Oh, great.
That's weird. I feel like Kevin's been in the playoffs almost every year since I've been here, but
Yeah.
that's been a long time.
Okay.
What do I know?
Yeah.
Clearly
All
nothing.
right.
Can't spell, don't know anything. The things
Wait,
you learn.
Can you spell Kevin Jewell?
Can I have some Tylenol first? Maybe that'll help.
Keep the political stuff off this show.
It's science.
All right, and with that, it is time for the kneel down. I have one more question for you to ponder. There are currently 4 teams out of this year's league who have not made an appearance in the title game. Steve Solano, albeit he's newest to the league, so
Right.
it kind of makes sense. BJ and Scott, Justin, and Stephen Matt have not made appearances in the title game. So, a bold prediction, if you will. Which of those 4 will reach a title game first? And will it be this season?
Huh.
So again, it's Steve S., BJ and Scott, Justin, and Stephen Matt.
That's Scott. Go ahead.
I'll take a knee all day. Yeah, I'll go this year. Miracles can happen.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
Right?
Mhm.
Why not? We can get our shit together.
Okay. John, do you want to go next?
I'll say Steve. And could he do it this year? Yeah. If he keeps putting up numbers like he did this last week.
Okay.
I'll see that, but I'll take Steve.
What were the other two choices?
Justin and
Steve Sloan.
Yeah, Steve Sloan. Yeah.
I'll take Justin.
Okay. Do you think he can do it this year?
Title game this year.
It's okay to say no.
I'm going to say no, but I think in the next 5 years, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If I had to pick. Sorry, Scott.
That's all right. Hey, man, I'm not hurt. I'm just disappointed.
That's what I do. Disappointment.
Just wait until you see the comments later when you post the videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Assuming he remembers to
My
activate them.
spam bots are going to go nuts over this. No idea. My 3 fans from Liquid Courage, when they hear I did a crossover show, done for.
Awesome. Our viewership numbers are going through the roof now.
All right. Before we do sign off for this month's episode of Poppy Seeds, any final thoughts?
It's a great start to the year as always. It's always fun. Baseball play. I think this is one of the best times of the year. Baseball players,
Agreed.
football, college football going on. College basketball's getting started here in the next couple weeks. Hockey is underway.
Basketball's getting started. This is the best time here in sports.
It is.
Everything is going.
Yep. October is that month.
Well,
Yep.
by the time we do this again, bye weeks will have been happening. Rivalry week would have happened for us.
Oh yeah.
And
right.
so there's a couple things, even just within the league, that'll happen before we get together again.
Yeah.
So, and it's a long season. We got a ways to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for John, Dan, and our special guest Scott, I'm Janelle.
Thanks for coming, Scott.
Thanks for watching,
Thanks. That
and
was awesome.
see you next time on Poppy Seeds.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.